In news from the aviation space, the DGCA or the regulator has fined IndiGo Airlines today for multiple episodes of tailstrike. Now, before we get into details of what are these various episodes and what is the DGCA found, let's try and understand what is an episode of tailstrike. So, anytime when an aircraft is taking off or landing, if the rear part of the aircraft touches the runway or scrapes the runway, that entire episode is categorized as an episode of tailstrike. Now, the DGCA in a very detailed note today has informed us that there have been 4 different episodes of tailstrike involved with IndiGo airline, which has resulted into action being taken by the regulator. The DGCA has also pointed out that these 4 episodes have happened just in the last 6 months as far as 2023 is concerned. This resulted the DGCA to conduct an audit as far as the processes and the procedures that were being followed at IndiGo airline. And the DGCA says that they found lapses on multiple levels. As I pointed out, the audit was to look into documentation, processes, various procedures that were being followed, and lapses on all these levels in fact have been found by the regulator. Our viewers would remember, if you go back to the month of June, the DGCA at that point had suspended 2 pilots who had been involved in an episode of tailstrike till investigation was pending. So this is a matter the DGCA says is concerning on multiple levels, because an episode of tailstrike can compromise the safety of all those who are on board, these involved, the passengers and the crew members, but can also potentially damage parts as far as the aircraft is concerned. Now, going back as far as the audit and the findings of the DGCA is concerned, as we pointed out, they've gone on to say that there have been lapses on multiple levels. So they've given a show cause notice to the IndiGo airline, and now the airline will have to reply to the regulator in a stipulated amount of time. But the biggest piece of news today that has come in from the regulator is that they in fact have fined 30 lakh rupees as penalty to IndiGo Airlines for these multiple episodes as far as the tailstrike is concerned. So as I pointed out, now what is going to be extremely crucial is to watch out the kind of response that comes in from IndiGo Airline when they respond to the regulator, the DGCA, listing out the kind of measures that they have taken in terms of reworking their documentation and procedures to ensure that episodes of tailstrike can be minimized. For anyone who tracks aviation, tailstrikes is not an airline specific issue. These are episodes that are reported almost on a daily basis. But as I pointed out earlier, they become concerning because they can compromise the safety of those who are on board, and more importantly, they can end up damaging parts of the aircraft as well. This is a developing story. We'll be watching out for the response that comes in from IndiGo.